Today I'm going to paint a full moon landscape.
Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch, watercolor artist, teacher and a book author. Welcome to my studio.
The moon will be the most bright and light object in our dark night landscape, so I will use the same type as I used to fix the paper. You can make your moon bigger, you can make your moon smaller. What I'm going to do is to cut a circle out of my type. Not so easy as you might think. Of course, you can also use a masking liquid, but I think with the type it will work even nicer. You place your future moon somewhere. You can place it in the middle, put it a little bit more towards the horizon. I will put it in the intersection of furrows around here. Now I will use my modeler brush to glaze the paper. You can put the same type underneath your mat to create a little bit of angle, small one. Now, while water is soaking into the fibers of the paper, let's create our mixes. I'm thinking of painting the deep blue purple sky. I will use indigo and I will add some of purple, quinacridone magenta maybe. I will start just with indigo. Already nice. I want to add Meadow Lake Deep to make it a little bit more purple. Getting inky consistency, but that's not all. I would also like to make a transition into warmth, and I will use vermilion. I will prepare a bit of vermilion mixed with the same pink I used, something in between red, orange. Now I have my big quill brush and I begin to glaze the sky. I like this beautiful dusty blue color, and I always reload my brush. I want to keep the upper part darker. Go once again, more and more, approximately to the place of the moon, and then I start to lighten up a little bit my wash. And then, to make it easier, I will just switch to another brush. I will get a bit of my pink-red mix and I overlap it with what I have here. So I just paint over some part of this gray mix, and then I move towards the horizon. I also would like to add a bit of maple yellow. Raw sienna, if you have, will also do the trick. And I use more and more water, and I bring it down like this. Now I would like to use some of the darkest browns I have. I have burnt umber and I have sepia, and I might also add some black, but I don't want the mix look black. I want to keep it in the brown sector. And then I will create the bottom part. It's creamy mix. I can even lift slightly my piece of paper, so the watercolor will flow into the opposite direction. It's already creating very nice line, a very soft line, very organic line. And if I take brush with long tail. Holding my brush at the very top, I can, so to say, drag out some lines that will imitate the grass. Right now, no need to overthink it, no need to be very precise. I'm creating the mess. Once it all dries, we will add details. Right now, we need to show up that we have different grass. You can start a little bit from the very bottom to bring a couple of plants on the very front. Now you can also use some plastic card, some ruler, some plastic ruler, and then just a very brave move, you add just a couple of very quick strokes like this. And now we need to let it dry completely. Now once it dried, let's carefully remove the moon. If we leave the moon like this, it wouldn't look natural. Agree? And let's paint it. Let's add some glow, and that can be same maple yellow, a little bit muted. I just use what I have on my plate. Very light color, more on the yellow. And then I just firstly paint carefully around, trying to cover all these white paper parts, because in this case it wouldn't look natural if we leave white paper right here. It can't be that bright in this time of the day. So first layer I will do it like this, and then I will use just the same mix but slightly bolder, and I will add some stains, some texture on the moon without overthinking. Nobody will tell you to compare it with the real moon. What's in there? Just this imitation. And again, let's create our mix with sepia is my darkest brown. I can add a bit of my pink in there. Meadow Lake I used, a bit black, but not too much black. This is going to be nice. And then I use my brush with a long tail, with long hairy part, and I just add more dry brush stroke, more grass around. And when I approach the moon, I have to be very careful, and I will explain you why. Because if moon shines exactly on this part of the grass, which is right here, the grass cannot be too black. If we want to emphasize the glow of the moon, we need to paint this part a bit lighter. I will use raw sienna, and with the tip of the brush I will paint the part which is overlapping or on the top of the moon, and that will emphasize the glowing effect of what we have here. I also add some texture with the long tail of my brush like this. Now let's repeat it again. Let's add a bit more. Another grass approaching the moon, and then some brighter color on the top. You can really make it brighter, play around, add some glow, couple of darker details. What I like to do is just to play with dry brush strokes around. That's enough to imitate the dry grass effect, right? Now what we need to do is to create a nice amount of such grass. Not necessarily that they grow all in one direction, of course. Can be one a little bit shorter, one looking at the other direction. Something on this side. Just basically just wiggling my brush on the paper. Creating nice amount. Don't overdo it. And also some brush strokes on the front. I will have my smaller brush because I want to have better control. And I add a couple of tails into this spot, very light. Let's remove the type. And our night landscape is ready.
Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed the process. I'm looking forward to know what would you like to paint next. See you soon. Bye bye.